Have a good day, everyone. I am Christine Joy Aidindero. This time, we are going to tackle about taking charge of one's health and well-being. Learning outcomes, explain the effects of stress, identify the stressors affecting of his or her life, and apply strategies of taking charge of his or her health and well-being. So now, let's start with the first topic, stress. What is stress? Stress is a term used in physics to refer a physical force or tension applied to an object. Later on, the word stress was also used to mean psychological tension. So, stress, it is our body's reaction or response mentally or physically. So, when we say psychological, ito yung pangkaisipan. So, stress can also be defined as a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation such as illness, family problem, negative thoughts, emotional, depressed, trauma, and any other problems that can cause stress emotionally and physically. Looking at it in more details, we can focus on the autonomic nervous system. What is autonomic nervous system? The autonomic nervous system is the sympathetic nervous system which stimulates the fight or flight response of the body, and the parasympathetic nervous system which returns the body to a calm state. So when we say autonomic nervous system, it is a network of nerve throughout our body that controls unconscious processes like, for example, breathing, heart beating. So ito yung nakokontrol na wala tayong kamalay-malay or hindi natin namamalayan. What is sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system? Sympathetic nervous system provides the body with a burst of energy so that it can respond to perceived danger or stressful situation. So in this situation, sympathetic nervous system activate to speed up our heart rate, while the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for the body's rest and digestion response when our body is rest. Now let's move to the next topics, the types of stress. There are 3 types of stress: acute, episodic acute, and chronic acute. Let's start with the first types of stress. Acute stress. Acute stress can be strong or intense, but it can be brief and may disappear quickly. So when we say acute, it means the symptoms can be developed quickly but do not last long. So this is a short-term stress. Acute stress reactions occurs when a people experience certain symptoms after a particularly stressful events such as arguments, disappointments, and traffic jams. So ito yung panandalian lamang na stress, no? Like what I have said, this is a short-term stress. So now let's proceed to the next types of stress, the episodic acute stress. The episodic acute stress is also strong or intense but can affect a person more because it occurs in a pattern and may recur. So, ang episodic acute stress ay nangyayari when we experience acute stress too frequently. It may affect our emotional health and can harm our health condition. So now, let's proceed to the last types of stress, the chronic acute stress. The chronic acute stress is bad for our health and well-being. The chronic acute stress may not be so strong but it appears to stay on for long periods of time. The chronic acute stress has been linked to many ailments and diseases such as heart disease, cancer, and mental illness. So kapag sinabi natin chronic acute stress, ito yung consistent sense of feeling pressured and overwhelmed over a long period of time. So, ang symptoms nito ay tulad ng mga aches or pain, sleepiness, and other ailments na nararamdaman natin, at ito ay nagtatagal ng months to years.
Good day everyone, this is Margie Mantilla and I'm going to continue our discussion about the lesson taking charge of one's health and well-being. So my discussion will be all about stressors and sources of coping and strength. To identify first the stressors that affects our life as college students, here are some list of stressors. First is boarding house issues Like, hindi komportable ang lugar kung saan ka nag-stay. Mahirap yon. Hindi ka makapag-focus sa mga gagawin mo, di ba? Susunod naman, isa pang stressor ay ang friendships. Kung minsan, ang mga kaibigan, may impluwensya sa iyo na kung may hindi pagkakaintindihan, may mga issues or problems na nagdudulot din yan ng stress. Next is technology. Halimbawa, hindi ka marunong gumamit ng gadgets or mas malalang problema kung nasira o walang gadgets na magagamit like phone or laptop. So, isa rin yung dagdag sakit sa ulo ng estudyante. Sunod naman ay ang academic matters. Yung mga assignments or projects, hindi pa natatapos gawin. Isa pa ay ang life directions. Mapapaisip ka kung anong magiging future mo. Ang health issues naman, mga karamdaman na iniinda o hindi pa gumagaling na mga sakit. Next is ang money. Dito sa money, kadalasan ng students has financial problems. Sunod naman ay ang way of life. Paano ka nabubuhay? Minsan, iniisip natin if we are doing the right thing. Something like, tama ba ang landas na tinatahak natin? Minsan, nalilito rin tayo. Ang intimate relationships, family, peer pressure, ayun, minsan pati sa pamilya or those people that has direct influence to us, nagdudulot din sa atin ng stress, lalo na pag may malalaking problema o may hindi pagkakaunawaan. So, ayun, now let us proceed to the sources of coping and strength. The definition of stress connotes in our discussion that the intensity of stress is strongly affected by the person's perception. So, kung paano natin tingnan ang ating sarili sa isang sitwasyon, madidetermine din natin kung gaano ka-intense or kabigat yung pagdadaanan natin na stress. That is why ways of coping in stress will involve the person's beliefs and perspectives. We have to learn about the strategies to cope stress that focuses on the mind and the spirit. Alam niyo po kasi yung stress, nagdudulot din po siya ng mga pagbabago sa ating pagkilos, sa ating katawan at mga tawag nito bodily changes po. Kaya kinakailangan, kasi po yung mga bodily changes na yan, maaari po ito magdulot sa atin ng harm or mas mapasama pa yung ating kalagayan kapag hindi po tayo nakapag-cope or hindi natin yan nagawa ng paraan. Kaya naman, kinakailangan na yung mga strategies na gagawin natin, nag-involve siya ng pati yun sa physical, sa bodily natin, strategies rin para mabalik po yung dating balance at calm state. Furthermore, the definition of stress enumerated the different aspects of the self, namely mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. The best approach to take in managing stress is the holistic approach at helping the mind, the body, and the spirit to cope with stress. These strategies will not only help in coping with stress but also in a lifestyle that promotes good health and well-being. Kapag ang mga strategies na ito ay palagi na nating ginagamit or maging part na ito ng ating lifestyle, o mas epektibo na nating malalabanan ang stress. You can remember and cope better and learn better. Pave your way in making your dreams come true and having a meaningful and happy life.
Strategies for good health and well-being. Number 1. Embrace the positive perspective. Be aware of your thoughts and feelings. Once you catch yourself having negative thoughts, pair each negative thought with a positive one. Discover something positive in a negative situation. There will be days when negative creeps in, and that's okay. The key is to be persistent and patient with ourselves. By consciously choosing to focus on the positive, we can cultivate a more resilient, joyful, and fulfilling life. The second one is laughing and enjoy wholesome humor. What we think and feel affect our state of well-being, and lighten up, learn to laugh at yourself. When we laugh, it breaks the negative thoughts that may otherwise linger and drag us down. So, laughter truly the best medicine. Sharing wholesome humor is a great way to boost our mood, reduce stress, and connect with others. Like for example, is watching funny videos and read funny books. This will help lessen the problems and stress we have. Laughing also is naay benefits. It improves the oxygen flow in our body. So according to the studies have shown how having a daily dose of humor can help lessen and pain and help improve one's health. So laughing is it will improve one's health, especially sa ato ang mental health. So para ma-lessen ni is mag like watching videos, funny videos, and reading funny books, and that will help lessen the problems and stress we have. So the third one is establish limits and routines. This strategy is about establishing a sense of order through rules and boundaries that you set for yourself, for you, and others to respect. People cannot hurt you unless you allow them to. So we need to set boundaries and limits for ourselves and for others para ang buhay natin ay payapa. Kanang walay bisan kinsa mga makabuot sa imo if what you are going to do and what plans do you want in life. And dili sa tamang hilabot sa life sa ubang tao para tipod sila mag-apil-apil sa ato ang life. And there's a one saying nga akong nabasa. Do not do unto others if you don't want others do unto you. So, mo to nga dili ta magbuhat og daotan sa atong isig ka tao kung dili pud nato gusto nga buhaton nila sa ato ang daotan sab. Maging mabait at magalang sa iba. You need also to discipline yourself for you to be able to not worry anything, and also we need to manage our time. So the fourth one is give time for hobbies. Our hobbies helps us lead more balanced lives. We spend time on our responsibilities and also time for things we like to do and for leisure and enjoyment. There is something about coloring a picture that comes us. Our hobbies help us to listen our negative thoughts by doing something that makes us happy and forget what problem we have today. Hobbies can lead us to a problem we have that can lead us to overthink, and that is not good for our mental health. Doing something can calm our minds from overthinking. Same sa ako is my hobby is kanang magbasag libro, maminaw music, and because of that, it helps me to make myself at peace and better. That's why we need also have time for our hobbies. So the fifth one is pray and meditate. When one is in difficult situation or even a tragic one, the person may feel isolated, detached, and cut off from God. Prayer is the way we reconnect to God. Prayer heals. It can free us from toxic anger by embracing forgiveness in prayer. So even now, prayer is the most powerful weapon we have because when we talk to God, there's a miracle and good things in our life will happen. Being isolated by our negative thoughts is not easy, and thinking about problem every day will give us bad day. And that's why when we encounter this kind of problems, we need to pray. And prayer heals and solve everything. God never let us suffer from those things. Wala tagigaan sa Ginoo og problema if walay solution. Meditation, on the other hand, focuses our attention and thoughts. Prayer and meditation are distinct but may harmonize. Many say prayer is when we talk to God. Meditation is when God talks to us. It is good to be still and quiet and listen. Also, we need to meditate for us to have peace of mind and make ourselves relax and away from negatives and problems. So when we pray, everything heals. Bisan pa sa mga problema ang ato ang nagian, when we pray, there's a solution nga to ang mm, ma tong makaabot. And that's all. Thank you.
Hi, I am Francine Villahar, and today I will be discussing all about strategies for good health and well-being. So first one is reach out to people. Remember that when you reach out to people, you become blessed, as well as become siblings and your friends. When you are feeling down, go to someone and share how you feel. In friends or family, you don't need 8,000s of friends in your life. Only a few really close ones with whom you can be honest and you know they will listen and not judge you. Now when someone needs you to listen, be there to listen. That is why it is good to work on becoming better, coping and managing one's life. You are also able to share your insights and experiences that may be great blessings and help someone. When we do not always focus on our own misfortunes and sometimes self-pity, we have more time and attention at noticing how others also need our help. Second one is listen to music. Music has been found to have an effect to both our body and mind. Music can evoke feelings of joy and peace in us. Listening to music which you really love can help you to unwind and cope with the stress. You know, music is something that can give and something that can provide to ourselves. You know, listen to an acoustic or instrumental playlist of slow songs can really relieve us. These are the music must, you know, this music must need to be calming rather than troubling. And when you're listening music, just in order to you to become, just in order you to be, you know, relief, is stay in a place that is free from other noise and interruption. And sit a very comfortably like an meditation, you know, just to feel your relief and out of stress. Third one is eat for a healthy immune system. When we are stressed, nutrients in our body are used up. Our metabolism does not work well until the nutrients are replenished. Sad to say, when people are stressed, the first thing usually affected is proper diet. People might resort to eating too much or too less. They may also eat empty, calorie foods, those which makes us feel really better. But apparently, the natural color or the natural food that we really need in our body are greens, yellow, orange, red. Those are the foods like in vegetables we have this. In fruits we have this apple, banana, and some other fruits that are really, really help us, in our immune system. Fourth one is exercise. Now we go to essential partner of healthy eating and exercise. Exercise helps keep our body systems such as cardiovascular, immune, nervous, and digestive system. And so when you exercise with the right amount of physical stress, it will help your body get rid of stress hormones like cortisol. Learn how to do exercise correctly and regularly for maximum benefit. Exercise really help us. Some of the exercises like dancing, biking, swimming, running, hiking, and see what suits you the best. So lastly, this would be the be with nature. Taking a walk in a park, hiking and mountain climbing, taking care of plants, listening the sounds of life, the rustling of leaves, chirping of birds can bring feelings of joy. These kind of things just may lead to increase in what is called a happy hormones in our body. And collectively, happy hormones are naturally occurring chemicals in our body that makes us feel good and have a sense of well-being as a person. Being with nature is such a beautiful experience for us, and having that kind of gratitude, we can align a development to ourselves. And that would be all. Once again, I am Francine M. Villahar, first year BE Ed 1A. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. The topic that I will be discussing to you is about taking care of the self, the need for self-care and compassion. So think about it. When a friend of ours fails at something, we take time to comfort our friend, saying that it was okay. There will be other chances. You did your best. Kaya mo yan. We become careful not to say anything that will add to the bad feeling our friend is feeling. But when we are the ones who do something wrong or we fail at something, sometimes we become too harsh on ourselves. Stupid. Ang palpa ko talaga. Bakit kasi ganun ginawa ko? Ayan tuloy. We are sometimes quick to scold ourselves. We can even be so mean to ourselves. This is not at all healthy and not at all helpful. A good friend is often someone who will be there for you consistently, whether that is through simple words or grand gestures. A good friend won't likely desert you because you are having a hard time or experiencing sadness. Good friends often recognize that life can present significant challenges, and they will be there for you when that happens. Real compassion is to be one with the suffering of the sufferer. It entails empathy, feeling, and understanding when the person is going through. Because we feel compassion for the person, we respond with gentleness, with care, and comfort. When we talk then with self-compassion, we do exactly this, but we turn inwardly. We become gentle, caring, and comforting to ourselves when we find ourselves down, guilty, confused, or lost. The facts about self-compassion is we are kind and understanding rather than harshly self-critical when we fail, make mistakes, or feel inadequate. Jesus Christ said, "Love your neighbor as you love yourself." Loving yourself is a prerequisite. It is the basis by which you can also love others. You can indeed be kind to others when you are kind to yourself. Self-kindness brings so many positive feelings of care and acceptance, which will help you cope in difficult and painful situations. Neff, in 2012, advises us when we are in such emotional pain and suffering, we say to ourselves, "This is a moment of suffering. Suffering is a part of life. May I be kind to myself. May I give myself the compassion I need." Loving your neighbor as yourself is so important to God that He not only repeats Himself, He makes it a command. But loving your neighbor as yourself isn't always easy. That's why God made it a command. He knew we'd struggle. God, the Father, is the source of all love. Before we can give this love, we need to receive it for ourselves. You cannot give what you don't have. These 4 self-messages allow us to go through the components of self-compassion. The first one helps us to acknowledge and accept the situation. The second tells us that we are not alone. Others feel pain too. There is nothing to be ashamed of. The third moves us to respond with kindness rather than be critical and be a self-basher. The last affirms that we deserve compassion and understanding from ourselves. Always be kind and loving to yourself, that you may also genuinely extend kindness and love to others. This lesson tackled all about stress and stressors and has given you numerous strategies